Hey there, how's it going? This is Coach Chris Wilson here in the Criticalbench break room space because I don't need to be in the compound today. I want to go over a series of different ways to really do self-massage if you're dealing with a tight IT band, painful IT band, and you're looking to release that area a little bit and address some of what people are doing that might be not beneficial or incorrect in trying to help themselves get better. I remember years ago learning from people much smarter than I who had been doing this for a long time, working in physical rehabilitation. They were physical therapists, they were strength coaches, really top minds in the field, and showing me all the different ways to improve muscle health and to get out of pain and to start to bring some balance back to the body. Because typically when we start to experience pain, it's coming from a new habit or there's a reason behind it, right? Certain movement patterns, things that we're doing in our training, things that we're doing in our day-to-day at work, the way we sit, the way we stand, the way we hold our body, and that's causing things to maybe get out of alignment. And when you get out of alignment, you get pain, right? If your spine's out of alignment, you get pain. If your hips are out of alignment, or if you're doing certain exercises that cause your body to be in a vulnerable position, things are overcompensating, there's an imbalance in strength, and stuff just starts bothering you. So it's bugging me, my IT band, and that's why I wanted to make this video, and I want to show you some of the things that I'm doing to get out of pain and discomfort there. So I have a whole bunch of different things here behind me. These are fairly inexpensive items. You don't have to have all of them. You might just have one of them. If you have none of them, it might be a little bit more challenging because then you have to maybe rely on doing some stuff with your fingers, and you can do some self-massage just with your fingers and your thumb, but it can be a little bit more challenging to really get in on those areas, and it's not as beneficial. So why don't I start with the foam rollers, and then I'll go to some of these other gadgets up here on the bar stool. So number one, let's hit the deck, right? So get comfortable, find a space that you can move in, whether it's in your living room, corner of the gym, wherever you train, on some carpeting, on a surface that feels pretty good. And this foam roller here, you might have a half roller, you might have a full roller, you might have a medium density, which is a little bit more squishy, or you might have a high density like this, which is pretty firm. This is a pretty hard piece of foam here. So the key to really targeting the area that if you're having IT band pain, okay, if you're having an area that pain can emanate all the way down to the side of the knee. So it could be all the way down in here. Some of us just feel that discomfort here on the side of the quad. Some people maybe even all the way up here, more on the outside of the hip area. So in terms of anatomy, you have your iliotibial band that attaches down here around the outside of the knee. And the band itself, the connective tissue, runs all the way up to about here, about let's say mid-thigh, and becomes your TFL, your Tensor Fascia Latae, and that goes up, and attaches up at your hip. What you really want to focus on is the muscle, not necessarily the connective tissue. So we want to foam roll and work on, with some of the other tools, the muscle area itself, as well into the quad, to the outside. I have very tight quads, which are a contributor to my IT band bugging me. Now, over the years, the pain has come and gone, and it's also shifted from one side to the other. So it makes perfect sense to me. It's just that based on the things that I'm doing. I remember there was a period of time where I was doing lots of leg press with heavy weight. And as soon as I sat on that leg press and started, not necessarily with my warm-up sets, but once I started putting a certain amount of weight on there, right away I would feel the added discomfort and pain in my, I forget if at the time if it was my right or left side. So it was just like, well, that's it. That's the trigger. That exercise, that position, that amount of load, that's what's helping this area kind of stay where it's at or making it worse. So try to find what those things in your day are that are causing the discomfort, so you can maybe hopefully navigate around those, do those things less, and then start to attack that area. Again, the muscle area, not so much the IT band itself, which is probably really tight. But what we want to do is we want to find the sweet spots or the sore spots or the sensitive spots. So we want to move around, like right here. I mean, I found a spot instantly. It might not take you very long. It might take a few moments just to find the area of sensitivity. And I'll just hover and breathe through that space for just a minute. It can take your breath away because it's so sensitive. And just try to hold position and breathe and relax and even feel the muscle go from like an intense contraction, like it's resisting and fighting what you're doing, because it's a knot or it's a buildup of scar tissue over the years, and then you'll feel that area start to just relax and I'm just shifting ever so slightly, and I just feel super intense. And so I'm just hovering there and breathing. And you can do this for 10, 20, 30 seconds or more. Just hover and breathe. And then you can start to do some rotations of the leg. So if I'll open up a little bit so you can see. So I can rotate my thigh to try and work that area a little bit. So very, very small shifts. Then I can actually just rotate my body, which is way more intense. So now I'm keeping all my body weight is just on this one point, besides obviously my forearm and my feet are on the ground, taking off some of my weight there. But I mean, I have a significant amount of pressure. And then what I can do after I do some of this for a little while is I can start to just roll the area nice and easy. I mean, this is super intense. And it's funny, it's like no matter how much I do it, the intensity is still very, very high in certain spots. And I just know I got to keep working those spots. Different ways, multiple times a day maybe, but at least once a day for 5 to 10 minutes. If you want to start to have an impact positively on your level of discomfort, you have to go about it on a regular basis. You're not going to get better if you just do it every once in a while, once a week, on Thursdays or something. It's just not going to happen for you. You have to put in some effort. So after you do a certain amount of foam rolling, like I said, the different ways, rolling of the body, rolling of the foam roller itself, moving around, finding those tender points, depending on the type of foam roller you have. Now, I would say start with one more like that before you went to this bad boy. The rumble roller is way more intense, so I'll just spend a second on this. Now what I'll do is I'll show you another way to also foam roll, is to foam roll not just the side where the TFL is, but also the quad, okay? So you want to start to foam roll on that quad, and this is just major. I mean, these rumble rollers are no joke. This is like having a therapist with their thumbs pushing down into your muscle with pretty good amount of pressure. And you adjust for yourself how much. I mean, the more you push up off the ground, the more you push your body away from the floor, you can decrease the load on the muscle. But if you really just relax on this thing with just your body weight, intense. And again, you can just kind of hover. You can roll your body, or you can roll on the foam roller like this. Oh my gosh, I mean, that's just major stuff here on the top part of the quads towards the insertion point. And I just know from years of activity that's an area of my body that's extremely tight. There's certain parts of my body that are I'm fairly mobile and flexible in, and there's certain, I've been doing yoga for a few years still. My quads are just tight. And that's definitely kind of, again, contributing to the certain amount of discomfort I have. So 2 types of foam rollers here. Both are great. You might not be ready for this one, but maybe one day you will be. Now, here's another thing, a massage stick. This is a great tool to have for a lot of parts of the body, but you can just move around, really inexpensive, easy to use. You can stand or kneel if you're just down on the ground. Find your areas and just roll through them. You apply as much pressure. You can really just hover in one spot with little rolls. You can even do some flossing, just side to side like this. And if you want, because sometimes your clothing just kind of gets in the way, and you can see, look, I'm getting red. So I can roll right to the top of the quad here. I can do this. That pulls on the hair a little bit. So actually for the flossing, you might actually want, here, I'm not trying to show you too much, just a little bit, right? It feels better like if you just have a thin layer, like maybe your boxers, if you're a lady, maybe have your leggings on or something, where this flossing is actually really good. But you don't, if you're a guy, you might not be wanting to pull out your little hairs there. But this feels great. And then just that rolling, that up and down rolling, and just hover in certain spots. Again, where you're most sensitive, that's where you have your knots. That's where you have the issue. So hover there and work on it. And then you can, do the bigger rolls about halfway down the leg, right up to the hip. Shift over to the front. It's like a good pain, it's hard to describe. I know it's good for me, and I know it's promoting good things, circulation and movements of the muscle, stimulating the area. Now, I have 2 other things here. Now, this peanut is almost like a double lacrosse ball, right? And this can be used for all kinds of things. These are great. But what you can do with these, because these are a little bit more firm than a tennis ball. A lacrosse ball is another great option, which is really roughly the size of a tennis ball, but it's hard, very, very dense rubber material. Very similar to this. Again, this is a really intense pressure point, so I can find that area pretty high up, like say right here. Again, find that, here's a tender spot right here. And I could just rest on that spot. I don't even have to move. Almost kind of just takes my breath away. And it takes a moment to kind of really relax into it, because the muscles are fighting it. They're tense. It doesn't feel great. Your body doesn't really want to be there, but it's what it needs. And that's going to really help. And so you just relax in that spot. Now I can do the same things where I kind of roll myself on the ball. Changes the way it feels. That's intense, man. Or I can even just roll, just small rolls, see? Oh, and that's really intense. That's a lot of pressure just on that one spot. Now, if that's too much, because again, these are really firm, the tennis ball is more forgiving, right? A tennis ball has a certain amount of give to it. So this will not be as, and everybody's got a tennis ball hanging around their house, right? Somewhere. But you can get a lot done just with the tennis ball. You can see that thing is saying, help me, I'm getting crushed. So it's got more give to it, but you can still get some great results with it. Find that area. Here's a spot. I can just kind of just lay on it right there. It doesn't take a lot of work. Gravity's doing all the work for me here. Just breathe in it. Again, self-massage is highly, highly underrated, because this is something you can do for yourself every single day, multiple times a day. And it's very inexpensive, and it only takes minutes. but it promotes such good things. It really helps the muscle start to just start to feel better, okay? Immediately, once I stop doing that and I feel that surge of blood rush into that area, your body's pretty darn smart. It's trying to fix what's not right, but you have to set it up for that environment, right? So you have to stimulate and roll and do these things to break up that scar tissue, to try to loosen up those knots and those parts of the body that are just feel knotted up and messed up from lifestyle or from the way training habits and stuff like that. So a lot of different options here for you. You again might kind of find one in particular that you really prefer. Just go with that one, that's fine, or mix it up and try a little bit of everything. They're all good and valuable in their own way, depending on how much you do it. Like anything in life, if you're not doing it, you're not going to get the results. The massage stick just sitting there, not helping me. But if I'm breaking it out all the time, if I have it with me, maybe at my office or, by the side of my bed or in the living room, and I'm working on it and I'm using it on a regular basis, then you'll start to feel better. You'll get those results. So put that 5 to 10 minutes of time in for yourself, maybe in the morning, maybe at night, around your workouts. And over a period of days, 7-10 days, certainly 3-4 weeks, you will start to feel better. That IT band will release because you've been working that region of the body, trying to bring it back to good health. And I pray that's what you're able to do for yourself, because I've been investing in myself a lot of added time, and mine is feeling better. But it might take longer than you'd like it to. It might take a series of weeks or months in order to kind of correct, and get out of that discomfort that you're having. Hey, be sure to check out a free report that I have for you. It's called Why Stretching Won't Make You Flexible. Anywhere you look in this video, you will find it in the pinned comment below this video, in the description area, in the card floating above me, or at the very end of this video in the end screen. It's a great free report. It's about 27 pages long. It talks about all the different things that we need to be doing to be truly flexible, and you're not just going to get it through kind of standard stretching or static stretching. It's a great read, and all you need to do is pop your email in and we'll send it to you right away. I'd love for you to have that. Be sure to give me a great big thumbs up. Hope this video benefited you in some way. Maybe there's something that you saw me use here today that you were unfamiliar with or never tried before. Highly encourage you. All of this is very inexpensive to have and has great benefit. So we'll talk to you soon, and leave me some questions or comments. I'd love to hear from you so I can maybe help you further. We'll see you in the next video.